Welcome to Living Beautifully. So this evening it is almost sunset, and I just wanted to come out here and do a quick garden tour with you guys. Our neighbor's dogs are saying hello, so sorry for that. But this first bed has my fall determinate tomatoes and this lemon basil, self-seeded, and there is basil growing everywhere. I think what I'm going to do, because my intention was to let cilantro go and grow in this bed, which you can see some cilantro, and I have some cilantro that I've been growing in the greenhouse that I intended to plant here. So I'm probably going to pull up all the basil like this half over and let that all be cilantro, and I may let some of the basil grow. Honestly, I'll probably just leave a couple of basil plants because I already have so many mature basil. I don't need that much. But this is supposed to be tomatoes and then cilantro. And then I also have some marigolds. I am loving this oregano and how it is draping over the side of this bed. It is loving life. And then I have my pepper plants. They're a little curled up. They probably want some water. I'm gonna water the garden here in a little bit. And then I have a few little peppers that I do need to harvest. So I'll go ahead and do that with you guys. This one is looking pretty good. I think I'm gonna let that one kind of ripen a little bit more. This one's nice and ready. Go ahead and get that one. This one, so you can see this is a good example. There's no foliage over this. I removed my shade cloth a few weeks ago, and you see where this is turning yellow right here? That is sun scald. Now this side of the pepper is perfectly fine to eat, but if it had stayed out here too long, then it may have started to rot. So, these are not the biggest peppers, but I am grateful nonetheless. Come on. And then some of these are not good, like that one I won't bother with. And then this one got sun scald as well. I don't know if the leaf would get out of the way. That got some sun scald. And that was a lot, so I'm probably not going to bother with that either. This is a nice one. These I'll probably let grow a little bit more. I think I'll go ahead and pick this one. And then this pepper plant is not really happy. So like these are just more so curling just from needing some water. This is kind of yellowing and you can see some brown spots. That may be a fungal disease actually right there. So I may need to spray this plant. Also, it looks like something has been nibbling on it. Maybe some grasshoppers. So we'll have to handle that. And then coming around here, let's see if we've got any more. I actually think I'm gonna pull this one even though it's not quite fully ripened. These two are kind of protected by the leaves, so I'll let those continue to ripen. Let's see if we have some jalapenos. Probably get these two. This one also has sun scald and something's eaten it. I'm gonna let these kind of size up a little bit more. Oh, here is a fully ripened one. A ripened jalapeno is a chipotle. Oh gosh, I think it's not a chipotle until it's smoked. But and then we've got another lilac bell pepper. It's already starting to turn purple, which probably is not going to get much bigger. It's not very big though. They've been a little bit smaller. I'm hoping that as the weather continues to cool down, they will start getting a little bit bigger. Then we have a squash plant. got one squash fruit that I'm hoping, I don't know if you can see it down in there, I'm hoping that that got pollinated. And then over here, we have our sweet potatoes, which are ready to be harvested. We just have to find some time to do it. I think I'll go ahead and harvest this one. Ooh, we have some pretty red ones over here. So this plant also looks a little bit stressed. I'm actually gonna pull some of these off, not really because they're ready, but kind of relieve some of the stress on the plant so it can kind of give more energy to surviving than maturing these peppers. And we've got some banana peppers we can get. Come on. Got one in here. Oh, it's a blue jay. Ah, you missed it. Let's go over to the other side. Actually, this is a lot of peppers on this one branch. I'm gonna pick one of these. And this, unfortunately, these were some peppers that I picked a few weeks ago and I forgot to bring them inside. So they're ruined now. Here's a nice pretty, that's a pretty bell pepper. Let's see if I can get this one-handed without messing anything up. Nope, I'm gonna have to put this down. I think I'll go ahead and take this one too. Then we have some peppercini peppers. Well. And then this oregano is also doing great. I actually need to harvest some of this. And then these two basil plants are doing quite lovely as well. Then over here, we have a little bit of a jungle. This is the broccoli rabe. I cut this basil plant like down, like I cut it really low to give this broccoli rabe some more room, and it just grew right back. So I'm gonna have to cut it down yet again. But you can see these broccoli rabe plants are doing great. Haven't seen any heads forming as of yet, but I imagine that should be coming soon. Oh wait, oh no. So this is a head, but it looks like it's already starting to flower. I'm actually gonna snip that off. And there's another one that is trying to flower. It's supposed to cool down here quite soon. We have still been running like high 80s, low 90s. So maybe it's not liking that very much. We'll keep an eye on that. Then this is our little Cosmo plant in our flower bed. And this is the other broccoli bed. Same thing with this basil. I cut it down really low and it has just bounced right on back. And then for these broccoli plants, I also, doesn't look like there are any heads here either. A little bit of pest damage, but they look pretty happy too. This one looks like it maybe is about to start forming a head. So, and then underneath, I forgot to show you on the other bed, beneath them I have some daikon radishes that are growing. And then my tarragon, which is right here, looks like it's about to flower. I'm not sure if it's like basil where you don't really want it to flower. I'm gonna have to look that up. And then moving on, so these are Thai soldier beans that I need to train back up on the trellis. And then this bed is all Brussels sprouts. This lemongrass, you can actually see where I cut it. I cut it down to here. This was probably not even 2 weeks ago, and it has already grown back that much. So the basil and the lemongrass, I'm gonna have to cut back again. I need to train this up. And then these are some Asian long beans that I also need to pick. Some of them I've let go too long, but it's doing well, making its way across the trellis. And then this is our cabbage bed. Again, I need to cut back this Tulsi basil, which this is my first year growing Tulsi basil, and I dried it, or I dehydrated it and made some tea. Oh my goodness, I've heard so many people talk about how good Tulsi basil tea is, and I was like, it's probably not that great. It is so delicious. It is really, really good. I highly recommend it. This I am hoping are parsnips, but I feel like that doesn't look like a basil seed. I planted parsnips along this row. This looks like a basil seed, but some of these look like they could be parsnips. I'm hoping they are. And then this is the cabbage bed. So most of these are doing pretty good. A little bit of pest damage there. I'm just checking to see if there's a worm that needs to be dealt with. But for the most part, these are doing pretty good. Need to kind of train up some of these Asian long beans that are falling over. And then moving over here, oh my gosh, there's so much basil. So this basil must have self-seeded. I need to pull all of these plants up. I'm not gonna do it right now. I'm just gonna pull enough to where you can see the actual crop. Okay, basil is just like taking over. But these are Brussels sprouts as well. It doesn't look like they're doing quite as good as the other bed, but they were kind of being taken over by basil. Then back here, I have the last little bit. I picked one round of cow peas and I let them keep growing. And it looks like I need to pick some more, which it also looks like most of them are not putting on much more. So I'll probably harvest this round and then pull them up in the next couple of weeks, because after I pull these up, I want to plant these beds out with kale and collards. So what I do is that I just take these dried shells, I shell the peas, and then I let them continue to dry just kind of in a thin layer. Yeah, and then you can store them just like dried beans. Same with this bed. These back trellises were kind of a fail. I planted some winter squash along all of these beds, and they don't seem to have survived. These are still trying to hold on just a little bit, but like they've been that same size for weeks. So I don't think that they're gonna do much of anything. I do have some transplants in the greenhouse. I'll show you the plants I have in the greenhouse. Don't y'all judge me. The greenhouse is a total disaster. I mean, it is horrible in there. The blackberry bushes are doing great. They have grown great this year. And then here's the other trellis of the Asian long beans that I also need to harvest. Let me step into the greenhouse really quick so you guys can kind of see what I've got going in there. This is going to be planted out with a fall round of potatoes. You can see there are some volunteer potatoes that have already kind of sprouted up, and I have some potatoes inside that I have pre-sprouted that will also go in here. And I'm hoping that they will have enough time before our first frost. These trays are going to be planted out with onions. And so were these trays. And then these are the squash plants, the winter squash, that I'm going to replace the squash that I planted by those trellises that did not survive. And then here we have the cilantro that I'm going to plant out in that other bed. And we also have the kale and collards that are going to go in the bed where the cowpeas are right now. I have no idea why this one tray just did so horribly, but the rest of them are looking pretty good. And yeah. So guys, that's a little peek of what's going on in the garden right now. I really need to finish seeding these onions and harvesting the Asian long beans before the sun sets, which it is doing very, very quickly. So I know that this was a little bit of a shorter video, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you like this kind of content, be sure to like and subscribe. And remember, you can always cultivate something good in your life and in the lives of those around you. Take care, guys.